Before we begin, for those of you who are joining us already, I'm going to launch a poll. Just a quick kind of little 7 questions. If you can do that for me, that would be great. Just kind of a pre-knowledge check. I just launched it. You should be able to go ahead and answer those few questions while we let everybody else log on.
I'm not sure that they can all hear us, Christina. If someone can hear us, would you? Oh, there you go.
Here.
I see a face. Yay. Thank you.
Are you all able to see the poll that I just launched? It's
Yes.
a pre-session reflection. Awesome. Thank you, Emily. If you all can answer those few questions, we'll get started in a few minutes. I'm just giving everybody a chance to get on. We have about 40 people joining us today, so want to give everybody some time. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have about 40 people joining us today, so we're taking our time to get everybody logged in. If you're able to see, I do have a poll that I put up on the screen. It's a pre-session reflection. So if you could answer those questions for us, that would be awesome. And we'll get started in just a few minutes. Everybody's kind of joining us now, so waiting room is busy.
I had Alice Brenda from Sunshine Academy who was trying to join through her phone. So she said that she's saying that somebody needs to let her in.
What was the name? Brenda?
It should be Alice, or it might be a phone number that's coming in. She was on another link and now she should be joining us.
Okay. Well, as soon as she pops in, I will let her in. I don't. Oh, I see an iPhone 3.
Yes, that should be it.
Okay, there we
Thank you
go.
so much.
Of course, my pleasure. So again, welcome everybody. We have about 40 people that are joining us today, so I'm just going to give it a few more minutes. In the meantime, I did launch a pre-session reflection. If you all could answer just those couple of questions, that would be great. And then I think we'll get started at about, what do you think, Suzanne? Like give them like 2 more minutes?
2 more minutes. Sounds good.
Perfect. Perfect. So we'll do that. It's nice to see some faces. The last sessions I've done, it was all black boxes. So it's so nice to see some smiley faces. No pressure. You don't have to turn on your box. No pressure. Thank you for answering the questions. In the meantime, if you could all make sure that your box says your first and last name, that would be great. The way you change that is if you look in your little Zoom box up on the right-hand corner, there's 3 dots. If you click on that and then hit rename, if you could just make sure that your name, your first and last name is visible, just because we want to make sure we get everybody the correct information, that we get everybody that's been registered correct. If you want to type your first name and last name into the chat, you could do that as well. That's awesome. Thank you all so much. A few more people in the waiting room, Suzanne, and then we'll get started.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday Eve. You've almost made it. We're almost there. Okay, so for those of you joining us just now, I'll go over a few more things one more time. Again, if your Zoom box can please display your first and last name. If it does not, or you're unable to, you're more than welcome to put your first and last name into the chat. That would be great so that we know. We also have a pre-session reflection that's up on your screen. If you can answer those quick questions, that would be great. There is really no wrong or right answers. Just if you can just answer those, that would be great. And then we'll have one at the end of the session as well. Okay, so I think we're ready to get started. I definitely want to give you all your time back. I know you probably have so much going on and so much to do. Um, Suzanne, are you good? I've lost my partner.
I'm here, Christina. I'm looking for a better connection, but I'm here.
Oh, you're no worries. It's all technology. We love it.
Oh, yes.
All right, so I'm going to get started because it's 10 after and we've got lots of information to cover. So thank you all for answering those questions on the poll. I appreciate it. You can keep answering it as we get our introductions moving and grooving. Um, Again, I just want to say thank you for joining us today. My name is Christina Demers, and I am a training and implementation specialist here at Learning Beyond Paper. And I am joined by my peer, Suzanne. Suzanne, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself super quickly before I move on.
Hi, I'm Dr. Suzanne Adinolfi. I am the Director of Research and Content
Oh, you froze up there.
Development here at LBP to work.
Suzanne, I don't know if you can hear me, but you're
Okay,
freezing.
can you hear me?
We can hear you, but you're freezing quite a bit.
Okay, I'm going to work on that, Christina. You walk them through the first couple of slides, and I'll be with them in just a minute.
No worries, you're good. Sorry, thank you all for your patience. Okay, so basically what we're going through today is we're talking a little bit about some directors, tips, tools, and strategies that you can use on your day-to-day. Just a little bit of past kind of information. Before coming to Learning Beyond Paper, I was a preschool teacher. So I worked with 2, 3s, and then my niche has been with pre-K for the last couple of years as a teacher. And then I was an assistant director. And then for the last 13 years, I was a director at a school. So I've been in your shoes. I've walked in your shoes. I get it. I understand it. So this is just kind of a session to talk about some great ways to, bring some morale to our staff and to our families and kind of bring everybody together. So how can you participate in today's session? So today's session is really all about you all, and it's all for you. So let's kind of go through some couple of things. So I am going to link some items into the chat, so you will be able to see those. We will break out into sessions, and the sessions that we're going to break out into is really just for you all to get together, hear some different perspectives from different directors and what they're going through, and sharing your insights and having them share their insights. So together come up with a resolution that works in order to work on one of our scenarios that we're going to give you. If you have any issues, please send a message to me and I'll be able to, assist you in any way. But it looks like you're all here and ready and connected. Any comments, any questions that you all have, please put it in the chat. We might ask you at some point to use your emojis. I don't know if you're able to see that, but there's a little area where you can kind of either do a smiley face or a thumbs up. We just want to make sure that you're all with us and engaged. We do have the closed caption. Zoom offers that, so you are able to turn that on if needed. And then hopefully you guys have your cameras on so we can see your smiling faces. So what's our goal for today's session? So before we get into everything, our goals for today is just to equip you all with just some strategies for fostering those strong family engagements to support children's success. Let me let somebody in. We want to give you the tools to support staff development and promote continuous professional learning to ensure a high quality educational experience, which is something that we all aim for, right? And we want you all to develop a clear action plan for setting positive tone, aligning staff with your positive tone, and creating a very supportive school environment all from day one. So I want to share this quick video with you all. This is really about coming with a open and growth mindset. And we do talk a lot about this before our sessions. And the reason why is because, especially as directors, when we come in the morning into our centers and we have that growth mindset, that comes off, right? It comes off to our staff, it comes off to our families, and then in tune, they follow. Um, will we have some negative Nancy's? Yes, unfortunately, that's everywhere. But when you're coming in with that growth mindset and you're coming in with that positive mindset, it really shows to your staff, and in turn, they will kind of move off into that growth mindset. So let's watch this video. It's one of my favorite videos.
The phrase growth mindset has become almost ubiquitous. First coined by researcher and professor of psychology at Stanford University, Carol Dweck, it has been adopted by everyone from school administrators to business executives to professional athletes. NBA champion and basketball superstar LeBron James has been quoted by the New York Post as saying, "It's always about a growth mindset. It's the fact that you know that you can do better, even at our age, even with our accolades, even with what we've done in our careers, we still feel like we can improve." According to Dweck herself, it is the belief that skills and intelligence can be grown and developed through hard work, good strategies, and input from others. Those with a growth mindset tend to achieve more than those with a more fixed mindset because they focus less on looking smart and more on learning and growing. It's about getting better. While thinking about what a growth mindset is, it's important to consider what it isn't. A growth mindset isn't just an attitude of keeping an open mind or a positive outlook. It isn't a matter of maintaining a belief that good things will come your way. It isn't just a matter of praising or rewarding effort. And it isn't keeping with a fixed mindset. Fixed mindsets are all too common, both in business and in general. Those with a fixed mindset maintain the belief that skills and intelligence are predetermined. They are irrationally concerned with being right and looking good in front of others. The fixed mindset suggests that learning should be effortless. You either have a knack for it or you don't. It encourages you to avoid mistakes at all costs and views challenges as roadblocks and barriers. It pigeonholes what success is and who can achieve it. Conversely, a key characteristic of the growth mindset asserts that skills and knowledge can be and are developed, and that learning requires time and effort. It is not set, but rather fluid and capable of being nurtured. Further characteristics are that it treats mistakes as learning opportunities, and the challenges that mistakes generate simply as obstacles that need to be overcome. A growth mindset focuses on yet. It is the hallmark of the growth mindset. I have not learned this yet. I may not be able to do this yet, but I can work hard and get better. And this is not just pop psychology. Research in brain science has proven that our brains grow and evolve constantly. We can and do create new neural pathways throughout our lives. This ability is called neuroplasticity, and studies are conclusive that, with effort, we can continue to learn and grow skills and talent, even if we don't entirely believe it yet. A growth mindset allows for the potential and promise of learning, getting better, increasing your knowledge and skills. It encourages achieving ever higher levels of potential and performance, even if you haven't gotten all the way there yet.
So again, that's one of my favorite videos, and I am now going to turn it over to Suzanne.
there, everyone. I am coming to you from Main Street in my town. I'm sorry it's a little loud here. We're having connection problems at my house today, so you go to Plan B. And I think that I understand why why Christina loves that video so much. I think we can all think about people that are fixed mindset, and we can think of some of our staff that's probably growth mindset. The deal is, it's kind of contagious. So if I show that I have a growth mindset, the people around me will kind of grab onto that. The thing that we're going to talk about now is reflecting on our experiences with teachers and families, and that's what this whole session is going to be about. Ultimately, everything that we do with the teachers and all of our interactions with the families spill over into the children. So we want to make sure that our interactions with both the teachers and the families are positive. They are we're thinking about where we can be where we can help them with growth mindset. What the children are experiencing in the classroom ultimately has to do with how the families are plugged in and how they talk about what's happening at school, and also what the teachers are experiencing, and if their training is allowing them to support the children in the best ways possible. So that's what we're going to do today. We already know that research tells us that connection between families and the staff, the school, is very, very important. It leads to higher self-esteem in children if that connection is well established. It leads to stronger sense of belonging. It helps children achieve higher outcomes in both social emotional development and academics as well. In fact, there was a study out of Harvard Center on the Developing Child that talked about the connection between home and school in those early years. It has a lot to do, it's correlated highly to success in children's when they get to kindergarten and in school beyond. So of course we want to do everything possible to establish that foundation, and that's what we're talking about today. Next, Christina. So we're going to have a breakout session, and we're going to ask you all a question. You're going to have some different questions in different breakout rooms, and you're going to share your knowledge and your experience. This is a way to multiply what you know. Hopefully, everyone will come away with maybe a practical strategy to plug into their own center, and you'll be able to share something that's worked for you in the past. So are we all ready for that, Christina? Christina?
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
So I
How,
have in the chat, I've went ahead and put it's a PDF. So hopefully you all can see it and you're able to open it. It's going to give you three scenarios. These are just parent scenarios. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide you up into three groups in our breakouts, and I will assign you the scenario. And then I just want you all to kind of read through it, discuss really what your solution would be or how you would handle this scenario. And then if you all can assign one person in your group to then share with us. So we're going to give you 10 minutes in a breakout session. I'm going to go ahead and break everybody out now, and then I'll assign you a scenario. Are you all able to see the PDF? Awesome. All right, here we go. I'm going to put you all in a room. And Trinity. Okay.
Hi, I think I got kicked out of my breakout room.
All right, let me see.
It was room 2.
Was room 2, and then it moved you to room 3, but I don't know. I'll move you back to room 2. How about that?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Let's try it. Yeah, you're welcome. Hi, everybody's in rooms. Did you get kicked out of one? Or are you just joining us?
I'm just joining.
Okay, let me see if I can slip you into a room. I'm not sure when they're gonna come back yet, but at least you can jump in.
Okay, which meeting is this?
This is training for directors, a continuation of the in-person day that we had a while back. Even if you didn't attend that day, we're discussing a lot of things about kind of preparing for next year as well. So
Got-
professional learning.
Okay, and will it be every month?
I'm not sure what the cadence will be. I know we have a few more scheduled, but I don't have those dates right on hand.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let me, I'll put you in room 3 so you can listen in. And there we go. Okay.
Everybody's coming back to the mothership, nice and slow.
Okay.
Hold on, Suzanne. I just want to make sure we have everybody back. It's coming back slowly.
We've never lost anyone yet, as far as them just disappearing like a magic act. So
Oh, it's
we're
happened before.
okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm sorry if I cut you guys off in the middle of a conversation.
So we're gonna go ahead and kind of debrief, do a shout out of the things that we talked about. If you could, whoever is going to shout out, tell us a little bit about the scenario, since we all didn't do. So we're, Christina,
Yes, ma'am.
we're gonna do our debrief and let everyone talk a little bit about their strategies that were shared.
Sounds good.
Breakout room 1. Who's gonna be?
That was us. We had Miss Rosa. I did want to get a volunteer from the directors who were in my group. Did anyone We were trying to get some volunteers, but everybody was very apprehensive to volunteer. So did anybody last minute want to do it? Anybody?
I do it.
Thank you, Maria.
Okay. We talked about Miss Rosa. We talked about she wasn't participating. She was very timid and didn't want to look to the teachers. She didn't. She just wanted to pick up the children and leave. And when the teacher wanted to involve her with the classroom, she wasn't getting involved. And one of the children, the teachers thought that she was not um, one of the times she was singing and but just to herself. And what we asked, the question was that what assumption might be affecting how the staff view Miss Rosa. And we say that the teachers probably they assuming that the Miss Rosa didn't want to participate, but what I say was that she probably wanted to participate, but because of a lack of language, or she probably was timid, that that's why Miss Rosa wasn't participating. And we should not be assuming that a parent would not want to participate in the classroom. We just have to thinking that they probably have a problem that's why they didn't want to participate. And sometimes we do the same thing with the children or with all the parents. The second part was how my cultural values or past experience impact her behavior. And I was another thing that I say that I was Puerto Rican and other culture like Mexico and El Salvador and other part of Hispanic culture are more timid than me as Puerto Rican, and they're more quiet first people. And for me, it was a little bit more hard too to communicate with them because they're more timid. So we have, I have experience with these people too that to communicate with them and just imagine the language, the English language speaking people talking, trying to talk to these people. It's kind of hard for them to participate. And so the pressure for us to create a space for her to participate without pressure, it's hard. It is hard. It is hard because of the second language. And it is hard, but we can do it. We can even have a day, a Spanish day or a German day that they can bring props and show us about Germany or about Mexico or about Puerto Ricans or about, and they can talk about the language. They can talk about their culture. And I suggest too that to get to the the parent, we can tell them, "Oh, Miss Rosa, you see what your child did this and that." We get excited about the child, so the Miss Rosa get excited about us telling them about the child. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. So we had a second set of questions for you all to do in breakout rooms, but we've decided that we want everyone to have a chance to weigh in on these scenarios. And so we're gonna come back to it later if we have time, but we don't want to rush you. We want to hear everything you have to say. So far, we've had some really good suggestions about using the parents to assist in the classroom in ways that they feel comfortable, but also making sure that we're putting those parameters. We have program philosophy and share. We're not giving them, we're not letting them take over our classrooms completely. We're making sure that they have that. Okay, next, Christina, do you know where we're?
We've
Mr.
got scenario,
Thomas, there we
we got Mr. Thomas scenario 2, group 2.
Do we have a group 2 representative?
Yes, that's me. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, Emily, thank you.
Okay. So we had our scenario was really about a parent, but a child had recently joined the center, has a hard time regulating, and often shows aggressive behavior. So the teacher has been documenting, as they should, these incidents that were happening, and dad came in very frustrated. Do you know what I'm going through? I have custody of her and it's been a battle. Just very dysregulated himself. And so the director comes in, takes him to the office, and he says, I want a new teacher. If you don't give me a new teacher, I'm pulling my child. And the questions were, how do you respond in the moment and in the days that follow? And how can you support the teacher without dismissing the father? And so we talked about having those policies in place and in your handbook and being proactive in those things. For us at our center where we're at, we have behavior policies that we follow. It usually starts with recaps in an app of those days that and what we're doing to help. Then we set a parent teacher conference and work through those things and get the parent and the teachers on the same page doing the same thing. I think it's very important to validate the father's feelings and say, you know, I'm completely understand, you're doing a great job. These are the things we've already implemented. And also asking what kind of supports and what ways that we could help support them at home. Another director shared that they throw a red flag, which I really loved the terminology of that, where it is that parent teacher conference and they're able to work through everything. But ultimately, I don't think that I would switch that child's classroom, but just support the family and the teacher as best we could together.
I love that you're supporting both the family and the teacher. Both need to feel like they're heard, validated, and that red flag and getting that parent conference is probably the beginning of a wonderful solution. Okay, Ms. Banks.
Okay, so we talked about that you really need to have policies and procedures in place, and the parents need to know about them so they know when they're coming into the classroom what their expectations would be. We also talked about different ways that you can have parents involved that don't necessarily mean they're going to be in the classroom spending time in the room. You can send things home. You can have them assigned to be, say, guest readers or something where you give them a specific time, a start, a finish time, and exactly what they're going to do. But it really needs to be told to them ahead of time so they aren't feeling like they can just kind of come in and run the classroom or just watch everything that's going on. And you need to let your staff know or include your staff in the planning of when and what the parents will be doing. So they will know that the parents are a help and not a hinder, that they're expected to be there to do certain things and not just be there to observe what you're doing or what the other kids are doing. But I think the key to the whole thing is just having that in policies and procedures, knowing what the expectations are and making sure that you explain the expectations to the parents before they go into the classroom to do something. Don't let them go in and take it over and then come back and have to say, you can't do this, you can't do this. Make sure they know what the expectation is for them before they go into the room.
We had some really good discussion there about those policy and procedures and letting parents know what expectations and opportunities are available. It's so important for teachers and families to feel like teammates and understand that they both bring something different to the table, but if they bring it together, then it's only going to serve to support the child and help them. It's important for us to establish relationships with the parents so that the parents are the people who are experts on their own child. And they know things we don't. They bring culture to the table that we might not know about, and they bring their varied experiences. So we always want to make sure that we're hearing their voices, and our teachers are feeling supported, like parents are part of the team as well. Okay, next. What are some things you can control and you can't control in your center? What's something, anybody want to unmute and tell us something you can't control?
A hard question because we all want to control it all.
That's right. Some of us. Can you control if a teacher calls in sick? Can't control it. What can you control in that situation?
You can control having the staff to cover what needs to be covered when a teacher does call out, because you can pretty much assume someone's going to call out every single day. So you might as well be ready for that. And I'm sorry, I'm not used to Teams, so I'm kind of—
No, that's okay. Expect the expected is what you're saying.
Zoom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're going to talk a little bit about proximal and distal. For instance, proximal is close by. It's the things that we have more control over. And distal are the things that we really can't control. In that scenario, the teacher calling out was distal. What we could control is that we was likely to call out, and we have a procedure for that. Again, we go back to process and procedures, and we want to make sure that we have those firmly in place. And we have a plan B, C, D, and E to make sure that we're not taken by surprise too very often. So also proximal and distal play into teacher development and professional development. When we think of proximal, we think of those things that are hands-on, the engagement of you going into the classroom and modeling what you're looking for. It's that one-on-one coaching that you might do with a teacher that needs a little extra assistance or scaffolding with a new child who has maybe a sensory processing disorder. Your tailored mentoring, you pulling an article that you were reading and saying, oh my gosh, that's Miss Tammy. I'd love for her to know more about this. Or Miss Janie loves blocks and tries to make it a focal point in her classroom. This article is all about blocks. I'm going to give it to her. So those are the proximal. Those are the next to you things. And then the distal are more the big picture items. They're like establishing those clear goals and expectations for your teachers, making sure that they have access to resources, your program philosophy, your handbook, all of those things that keep the big picture going. And the proximal is that you stepping in and taking that role of close by scaffolder and mentor. Okay, next. Your impact as a director. This is probably the end of a preschool year for many of you. So your summer will be over before you know it. I hate to be the one that says that, but you know it's true. And you'll be starting over in the fall with a whole teachers. Your impact makes the weather in the center. If you are excited about learning new things and you make that a focal point of your center, then that is likely to be contagious. You keep your clear expectations, job descriptions, handbooks, specified training, consistent consequences. So make sure that your handbook's rules are laid out well. A handbook can be one of your very best friends, both for parents and teachers. You also want to model that behavior that you want to see more of. Sometimes I remember running into classrooms just in the middle of doing 10,000 other things and seeing something, and I put in the back of my mind that I wanted to remember to talk to a teacher about something, and then 3 weeks down the road, it just didn't happen. And so making time to model what you want to see more of and give them some access to more professional development or learning. It could be in the form of an article. It could be in the form of a face-to-face training, or it could be in the form of maybe a podcast, whatever floats their boat. They can listen to it on the way home if they want. Be present, actively involved in greeting the teachers. Make them feel like this is a place that they belong. This is a family at our center. We need to employ some of the same methods that we're asking them to employ in the classroom to make it a school family, with them to make it a center family. And think about that. We greet the children at the door. We make them feel special. We give them opportunities to be involved. We surprise them sometimes. So think about how you do that with your staff, and make a list and think about employing those strategies on a regular basis. I know some centers that do things off center with their staff. Maybe they meet for painting and beverages once a quarter, or maybe they have a typical training night after the children have left, or they close a little bit early once a month. Whatever it is, make a list and make sure that as you begin the new year, you are you're giving that first you're giving that a good thought, and making sure that you are making your teachers feel like they are part of this family, because they are the people that help keep those daily interactions with the children positive. And we want them to know and learn and be excited and have passion as much as they possibly can. So next, we have a few resources to give you before you leave. And we will follow up by by sending these resources to you. If you will do this, we'll send them to the Early Learning Coalition. There is a wonderful podcast. This one is on strengthening relationships with families, but they do a lot of other great topics. NACI is always available. I think you can now do a NACI professional development session for $25. The benefits of professional learning communities is a great resource as well. Maybe you want to start some professional learning communities in your center. So we'll send that to the Early Learning Coalition. Before you leave today, we need for you to please sign into the chat, so we know exactly who is here today, and we can make sure that that the Early Learning Coalition knows that as well. Please take a moment to finish your director post-session reflection. While you do that, I'm just going to remind you about being the weather maker for the center. You are the one that runs all day long, but you are the one that sets the tone. You're the one that helps the teachers feel empowered and heard and gives them the opportunity to keep growing. You are the ones that help families feel like their children are safe and well cared for and in the right place. And you are the ones that bring those relationships between families and teachers in the forefront and keep that going. All in all, that equals a child who feels plugged in, a child who research tells us not only have higher outcomes in social and emotional learning, but also in academics, because the two are really inextricably linked. And you are the ones that come up with the ideas, keep the center moving on a daily basis. I know it's a lot, but your job is the most important aspect of keeping all those working parts. So thank you for what you do. You are helping children have a more successful school year down the road, whether they're infants or toddlers. The longer they're at your center, if it runs well, then you're making them you're making them have a better chance at success for the future. Thank you. And Christina, do we have any closeouts? Anything
I
to
just went
say?
ahead and launched the post session for you all. Again, if you could just take a few minutes to answer those questions. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I know we started a little bit late and tried to get through everything. So I hope you guys had a good session with us and join us for our next one. And again, if you could just answer those questions, that would be great.
Christina, I do have something to add if you don't mind.
Yes,
I just
ma'am.
wanted to mention to all of the directors on the call, we do have at our Daytona office a small table and a bunch of chairs that we are trying to get to a provider. If you are interested and you're able to get to our office to pick them up, please send an email to us, quality@elcfe.org. It'll go to the first person that reaches out. So if you're in need of it, Karen, I think you might have a picture you can drop in the chat. If you have that readily available, that would be great. So again, if you're
I
interested
just did.
oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Karen. I appreciate it. If you're interested in the table or the chairs, please let us know, and we will hold them for you. Again, it'll be first come, first serve. So just shoot me an email. And thank you all for attending with us today. We appreciate it.
I think some of you are having a hard time seeing the post session reflection. Are you all able to see it? I just tried to launch it again.
I see it, Christina.
Okay, let me I just shared with you all, this is the QR code. So if you want to kind of scan your phone over it, you can, and that should take you to That should take you to it. Emily, I don't know if you have your phone. I know you're having some trouble seeing it.